Good morning, Wayne. Were you ever right about team gold yesterday, as I texted you? And good morning to Keyshawn Johnson and to Paul Pierce. I'm about to don my gold medal. I'm going to put it on again.
Put it on.
It's the one that Duckboat Paul already awarded before the games began, because yesterday they looked golden. It looked over.
What?
And that's thanks to LeBron, and especially thanks to Kevin bleeping Durant, who had, under the circumstances, I thought the most extraordinary game I have ever witnessed.
Man.
So, Paul, tip us off here. How do you describe the impact KD had on that basketball game?
First of all, what did I tell y'all last week? What did I tell y'all?
You said
Skip?
KD would start.
No,
if he's going to play, you said he'd start. That's what you told me. That's what you said. He's got to start.
I would start him.
Oh, okay.
But I said KD is just a baller. If I had one shot for my life, who'd I say? KD, right?
Who'd I say? I'm with you.
Come on. Y'all got to be kidding me. KD don't need no practice. Y'all talking about, well, he didn't play in the exhibition season and all of that. I said he don't need none of that.
First of all, stop talking about y'all, but go ahead.
Okay. Keyshawn and Skip. Y'all said.
Ain't no Keyshawn and Skip. Just go ahead.
KD needed practice. I said, man, Skip, let me tell y'all something. He can step right on the court. He's plug and play. It's exactly what I said. He came and showed y'all that. Listen, KD is the best scorer on the planet still. Calf injury and all. 7 feet. He don't need a lot of dribbles. He gets to his spot. And I did say this. I said, you know what? They said, how would they fare versus Serbia? I said, you know what? The spread was like 14 or 15.
12 and a half.
It was 12 and a half. I said, they're not going to cover the spread if KD don't play. But if KD plays, oh, yeah, they're going to cover the spread. And what he showed you why he is one of, if not the greatest basketball Olympian player the U.S. has ever seen. Scoring-wise, because he has all the records. We know what he does in just a short period of time. And KD's the difference. He's going to be the reason we're going to be talking about this team maybe better than the 92 Dream Team. And that's what gets them over the hump, having Kevin Durant at his best. So his impact is undeniable. We saw it yesterday, and that's why with KD out there, they played their best game since joining together. And we will continue to see this throughout the rest of the Olympics, period.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever be considered better than the 92 team because they struggled to a degree in the practice game. So that erased that out of everybody's mind. They got to basically...
They could go on a run.
That's what I was going to say, Skip. I was going to say they basically got to score.
They do.
They got to score ridiculous. They got to blow people out from here on out for even us to even think that, because...
To compare them to the 92?
Yeah, because in our minds, those practice games, South Sudan struggling a little bit against Australia, whatever you want to call Canada early on, just those games, Germany, people going to be like, nah, because the 92 team would have never let that happen, even though they took care of business like I thought they would, 12 and a half plus 5, Skip. That means that I was up by 17 and a half. So as it was sitting there, and it was at like 18, 19, I could say, come on, man, y'all got to finish strong. I can't go back in here and listen to Skip scream and holler, I told you so. They wasn't going to be able to cover this way. But they did. They took care of business. And a lot of the reason to take care of business is Kevin Durant. I mean, at one point, the man was 100%. Now, in an NBA game, I've never seen, and maybe you guys have, seen a guy be efficient, not 100% shooting 2 for 2. Not that. I'm just talking about 5 from 5 from 3, knocking it down, 8 and 8 all the way around, free throws, whatever you want to call it. I've never seen that before, but his game clearly lends itself to the international game, whatever that means. I mean, catch and shoot, create your own shots. You can put him almost at any point on the floor, and he's going to get his buckets.
He's just a baller. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to really describe it. Like, when people say he's a baller, you just a natural gift for basketball. Like, he don't need to, like, work on nothing. It looked like he could just walk in the gym and just start making jumpers and just doing all kind of skill work where guys, you could tell he worked on that.
But the best...
Like, not that KD didn't work on it, but you know what I'm saying.
The best shot of all shots, though, was the runner from left to right underneath the basket when he fell on the ground. It just...
The last shot of the half.
Was it the last shot of the half? Yeah. I was just sitting like, man, this dude here, Skip. There's nothing you can do. And then LeBron, obviously, and Ant-Man cashed in, and Steph did what he needed to do. So that the depth is just so deep, and Tatum didn't even play. Think about that. They didn't even need one of the superstars of the NBA to even chip in and help them.
A 3-time All-NBA player the last 3 years. First-team All-NBA was Jason Tatum, and he did not play a second yesterday, and they did that because of him. He was him yesterday.
Mr. Olympic.
Mr. Olympics.
And they had Bogdanovich and everybody else.
They had them all.
It didn't matter.
But I'm going to go a step deeper on this.
Okay.
To me, if for whatever reason Kevin had not been cleared to play, and Brian Windhorst reported he was not cleared until less than an hour before the game by the whole medical staff, and there's Phoenix Suns people involved, and Steve Kerr and all the med people and all the coaches and all the Kings men, they're all there. And it wasn't until less than an hour before game time they said, okay, you can go, but you can't start. He was the 10th man off the bench. We'd already we'd played 9 players before he stepped onto the floor with 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Here's my deepest point. If he, for whatever reason, his calf wasn't quite ready and they said no to him yesterday, let's save him for one more game and we'll ease him in against South Sudan and Puerto Rico in the next 2 group play games. If that had happened, I don't think we win that game yesterday. Listen, when he stepped on the floor, it was 20-14 Serbia. And obviously Serbia jumped off to a 10-2 lead. We rallied back. We took the lead back. And then here they came again. And Joker had just gone off the floor for his first rest with 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. And Kevin comes in and seconds later takes and makes his first 3. And I'm like, what? And then a few more seconds passed, and we go into the second quarter, and he takes and makes his second 3. And that flurry, it's just little more than 1 quarter worth of work. He scores 21 points. In an Olympic game, it's just hard to do. There aren't as many shots. It's so physical, and the play is so furious, and the effort on defense is all out on both sides. It's hard to score 21 points in little more than a quarter, and that man did that. And if we could see them quickly, the shots that he's making, I just thought, okay, well, one of these times he'll miss one, won't he? Because he hasn't played at all since April. He hasn't played since April in a real game. And here we go. This is the first one. And again, there's a guy there. He just like cold-blooded, like, I'm going to shoot it. He said after the game, my idea was to go out and just be aggressive. Well, look at this. It's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. That's contested. Swish. One-legged, swish, little Nowitzki, and swish. And now we're getting to that last play off the pick. Boom. And that ended the half. And they go from down 6 when he steps on the floor to up 9 at halftime, and the game was over. You could just see Serbia got shot right between the eyes and right in the heart by Kevin Durant.
But they started off slow all practice games. They never really every game slow. So I wouldn't think that just because he didn't play that they would lose this game. For whatever reason, first quarter's always been slow for them.
Well, it felt like they're going to get run off the floor early because
it felt that way against
it was
everybody.
Turnover, bucket, turnover, bucket, turnover, bucket. And then Joel Embiid steps to the free throw line and misses 2 free throws. And I'm saying, what are you doing, man? Come on.
So what are you doing?
No, seriously.
Right.
And yet that stretch just flipped the game on its head.
Mm-hmm.
In that last play, Steve Kerr said, I called it in the huddle, and I kind of drew it up in the dirt, so to speak, because we'd never practiced it at all. Mm-hmm. And Steph picks for KD on the baseline, and Steph will give his body up. He will take punishment to free KD, and then LeBron just hits him right in.
Well, like I told you, though, Skip, you kept saying that they was going to lure them to sleep, and it might have been Joker was in the crowd watching and scouting and doing.
Well, I didn't know if you told me Kevin was going to do that, I'd say just call off the rest of the game.
But then you also said to me, this is so hard to read their box scores, but you also told me that they would be more efficient at shooting threes because that's what they do.
The Serbia. Yeah, well, they weren't yesterday.
Not at all.
9 of 37?
9 of 37. And think about that, what we did.
Okay, and by the way, they came out in the third quarter when I told you they'd been shot in the heart, and Serbia goes 0 for 9 from 3 in the third quarter, and the lead just kept growing and growing and growing, and then just went completely out of control. And even you underestimated because they won by 26 points, right?
Well, look, in the end, the line changed. It went from 15 to 12.5, but I always felt like they was going to cover and then some.
Well, if you told me Kevin Durant was going to play, period, like to your point, if he's going to play and he's going to be okay.
We saw the highlight. All you need to do.
Dunk.
That's all you need to see. And it wasn't like one dunk. It was coming from underneath the basket from left to right. And he jumped from one end side to the other side. So when you look at it.
He's only 7 feet tall.
I know, but you still got to push off. You got to push off, though.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I got it. So.
I mean, his impact is going to be undeniable. I mean, he's the best shot maker on the team. Like I was watching that video, and he probably only took about 3 dribbles total on all his points.
Yeah, it was kind of like Clay-esque.
Yeah, he's like a no-nonsense player. And what I mean by that, and the reason he's plug and play is because he's not a ball-dominant player. He gets right to his action. And so when you got a guy LeBron, who pretty much needs the ball in his hands to kind of control what's going on, when you got guys like Anthony Edwards who kind of needs the ball, and Tatum, these guys all need the ball to kind of work their little, magic. You know, it takes them a few dribbles to get to it. But when you watch Kevin Durant, and the reason he can play with anybody and the reason he was so successful with the Golden State Warriors is because you don't have to run a lot of plays for him. A simple